Hello everyone. Welcome to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. All the details are in today's video, delivered with care and curiosity. If you enjoy stories that peel back the glitter to reveal the heartbeat beneath, make sure you like and subscribe. You can support us even more by tapping the join button below. Thank you for being here. Now let's watch the video. In a world where the lights almost never dim and perfectly framed smiles can conceal sleepless nights, Turkey held its breath over news that struck without warning. Beloved actor Alp Navis, long admired for his calm focus and unwavering discipline, was rushed to the hospital after collapsing without notice during the shoot of his new project in Istanbul. The industry froze. Fans froze. And the surprise didn't end with the ambulance sirens. What sent shockwaves across the country was the way his ex-partner, actress Alina Bos, reacted the instant she heard. According to witnesses, she suffered an acute breakdown, overwhelmed by fear and memory, the sort of moment that makes even the loudest timelines fall silent. Insiders from the production say it unfolded in a blur, right in the middle of a punishing filming day. The schedule had been relentless, back-to-back scenes, endless adjustments, tighter takes, then running to interviews and brand appearances before returning to the set to rehearse for the next morning. "There's a point the body draws its own line," a crew member said, still shaken. 1 second Alp was standing beneath the fixtures, waiting for the slate to clack. The next, he wavered as if the floor shifted, lost his balance, and went down. Assistants rushed forward. Water. Towels. Calls for the medic. Within moments, an ambulance was on the way. He was taken to a private hospital, where doctors quickly stabilized him and concluded that he was suffering from extreme exhaustion, severe dehydration, and the strain of accumulated stress that no amount of coffee or determination can hide. The news didn't stay in the corridors. It spilled outward at lightning speed, crossing from whispered concern to public alarm. And somewhere across town, amid flashes of studio lights at a photo shoot, Alina's phone lit up. People who were with her say the change on her face was immediate and devastating. The poised composure she's known for dissolved. Tears came fast. She kept repeating that this couldn't be real, that he always pushed harder than anyone else, that he wouldn't stop even when he should. Production froze for her as well. Assistants brought water and tissues, someone dimmed the lights, and a doctor who happened to be on site checked her vital signs, identifying a sudden shock response brought on by crushing emotional news. They had ended their romance months ago, but her reaction ignited a storm of questions. Was the thread between them truly severed? Or had it simply retreated beneath the surface, waiting for a moment like this to reveal itself? Social media turned into an ocean of speculation, grief, and nostalgia, clips of their past public appearances, montages of stolen glances, interviews where their eyes seemed to say more than their words dared. People wrote essays under fan edits, remembering how natural they once looked beside each other, how their laughter seemed easy, how the world had decided they made sense. Their chapter began under the same noise and the same light, crowded studios, scripts spread across tables, tense rooms that softened when they entered. Their bond grew between overlapping schedules and shared confidences, a rhythm that felt steady even when everything around them moved too quickly. As their careers soared, so did their visibility. What millions adored became the very thing that tested them. Constant scrutiny. Long hours. Private moments swallowed by public curiosity. A follower wrote what many felt: their connection was the kind that doesn't wash away with time. It marks you, then sits quietly in the places you don't show the camera. Several outlets reported that Alina tried to visit Alp at the hospital shortly after the news broke. The medical team, prioritizing rest and regulated care, limited in-person access. Still, something of hers reached him. A bouquet arrived, nothing ostentatious, just elegant and clear, and a small folded card. The message, according to someone close to the situation, was brief and unguarded, the kind of note that doesn't perform for strangers: "You're stronger than this, please rest, the people who love you need you well." Fans melted, imagining the silence between lines, the history pressed into those few words. Doctors later shared what everyone needed to hear: Alp's condition had stabilized. He would remain under observation for several days, not because the situation was dire, but because exhaustion that severe demands time and total surrender to recovery. All commitments were being paused. No set calls, no late-night dubs, no red carpets. Just sleep, hydration, and the long, unglamorous patience that heals. People close to him admitted he'd been grinding through an emotionally demanding stretch, overlapping shoots, simultaneous obligations, an intensity that doesn't look dangerous until it knocks you down. In the days leading up to the incident, he had spoken of Alina more than once, they said, describing her as someone whose imprint he couldn't shake, a presence that lingered even after their paths diverged. Alina chose silence, at least the kind that uses words. Hours later, a black and white image surfaced on her official Instagram, empty sky, a horizon that looked like the edge of a breath. The caption was soft but unmistakable, a line that many took as a quiet confession: some hearts stay tied even when roads pull apart. Comments exploded. Some read a promise. Others heard a goodbye shaded with gratitude. Whatever she meant, it reached the people who wanted a sign. It was a way of touching the conversation without letting it consume her. Experts chimed in. A journalist at the Magazine D website said what many were thinking: you don't fake that kind of collapse of composure. It was raw. It was immediate. It wasn't a performance designed to trend. It was a human being receiving a shock that cut through the careful layers fame builds to survive. And then came the bigger question: what does this mean for them now? Are they simply two professionals with a complicated past, or are they two people whose story hasn't truly ended? Both had been shining professionally just before the incident. He was in the thick of an ambitious production that many believed would redefine his on-screen presence. She was consolidating a position that few achieve: beloved, bankable, and still hungry to grow. But moments like this reorder priorities in an instant. Those close to Alina say she requested a temporary hold on her commitments to protect her mental well-being. Not a dramatic exit, just a pause to steady herself. No one can pretend it's just another day after something like that, a member of her team confided. Some feelings don't respond to PR schedules. For fans who have watched from the beginning, the shock has settled into a reflective quiet. Behind the clips and headlines, there are two people who once walked in step. They learned each other's rhythms. They understood the ache that comes from wanting both love and ambition. They built something together that didn't completely vanish when it broke, it simply changed shape. And now, in the distance between a hospital room and a halted photo set, there is a conversation happening without sound. A conversation that might be about forgiveness. Or about acceptance. Or about the strange, stubborn idea that love doesn't always finish when the world says the credits should roll. As days passed, updates remained cautious but steady. Alp was resting. He was responding to treatment. There was talk of a longer recovery window than originally planned, not because the diagnosis had worsened, but because the people around him wanted to ensure this scare turned into a real reset, not a footnote. He had spent too long outrunning fatigue. This time, they wanted him to walk. Maybe even sit. Breathe. Look around. Decide what could no longer be allowed to steal his health. The production agreed. Better to wait than to push an inch too far. Better to be patient than to risk breaking something that matters. Alina's circle wrapped around her. Not with noise, but with space. They kept distractions away, encouraged slow mornings, and protected her phone from the constant ping of speculation until she could face it without flinching. She was not hiding, she was gathering herself. Every now and then, someone close would say that she'd check the news about his condition, then exhale, then close her eyes and smile a little. That's what hope looks like when it's trying to be sensible, small, careful, private. Communication analysts agreed that what we saw from her the day of the incident was unmediated. People in this business learn how to hold a pose when storms hit. She didn't. She cracked. And in that fracture, fans saw something truer than any caption. They saw the kind of care that survives distance. They saw a reminder that for all the opinions and edits and theories, certain relationships belong to the two people inside them, not to the crowd. Is it possible for love to keep breathing in the quiet after it ends? That was the question everywhere. Some viewers said yes, love changes costumes but keeps walking. Others said no, what we call love after a breakup is memory wearing perfume. And then there were those who refused to decide, who just wanted both of them to find peace, whatever shape it takes. The only thing everyone seemed to agree on, the bond between Alina and Alp is not the kind that turns into dust overnight. By the end of the week, a gentle routine took hold. Hospital visits were still limited. His team shielded him from anything that could spike stress. Her team did the same. And somewhere in all of this, a single truth stayed bright: two careers may define their public lives, but two hearts define the part of the story we'll never get to control. Whether they rebuild as friends, as partners, or as two people who simply wish each other well from afar, the tenderness that showed itself during this crisis will be remembered. When the noise fades, and it always does, what remains is an image we can't forget: two figures who once shared a path, standing on separate sides of a long hallway, connected by a thread that refuses to snap. The cameras won't always catch it. The headlines won't always name it. But it's there, in the care that showed up when it mattered, in the soft words that travel where journalists can't, in the decision to rest when the world demands work. Do you think their story deserves another chapter? Or is this the moment where love bows, thanks the audience, and leaves the stage with dignity? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets so you never miss the most human, most moving stories from the heart of Turkish showbiz. Like the video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and support our work by joining the channel. At Turkish Spotlight Secrets, we believe even the toughest love still teaches us how to feel. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next video.